Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
He put the war on drugs. That's when everything got like that.
You also called black people monkeys at one point.
Okay, if they call them monkeys or whatever, not only a monkey, I'd rather be a monkey than have 2 life sentences.
True. Just real people, real convo. My name is Peter Bailey, and after my sit-down with Ted Lucas, I welcome Bo Dilley to the NiteCap set for his first ever interview in which the legendary drug lord, currently out on bond, discussed his role in the now critically acclaimed Miami Kingpin series, spending decades in prison, and his influence on pop culture. Folks, welcome to another NiteCap conversation. First, it's not always we get to sit with a folklore, someone who is integral to the fabric of pop culture. So, this guest, there's a Rick Ross record called John Doe. I'm still ballin' like Bo Dilley. There's a Trick Daddy record. I'm from the era of the Goodfellas. You know, Big Ike, Big Nose Bob, and Bo Dilley. Bo.
How y'all doing?
Thanks for sitting and having a conversation with me, Bo.
I'm delighted to have this great conversation.
Indeed. Bo, you're the star of the second episode of Miami Kingpins, which is a documentary series on essentially the black cocaine cowboys. But let's go back, because I think the most important question we could ask is why. So why are we sitting here? Why are we telling the Bo Dilley story? I think it's because what I said earlier, you influenced Trick Daddy, you influenced Rick Ross, and in turn, the influenced pop culture. But where is pop culture going, Bo? You began in Patterson, Georgia. Talk about the roots of your beginning.
Well, in Patterson, Georgia, in 1959, I was living with my grandmama as from childbirth. My grandmama, she delivered most of all her, she has 5 or 6 girls. She delivered pro se herself. And at that time, my grandmama died somewhere about when I got the age of 3 years old. Then I left Patterson, Georgia, and reside here in Miami.
She was working for a plantation owner, right? In Georgia?
My
What
grandmama,
kind of work she was doing?
working for, they call the thing Buck Jones, farmer. When she go anywhere down the store, she sign her. My grandmama couldn't read or write, but all she do is sign her X, and she worked for a white man they called Buck Jones, and he had a lot of farmland. And he gave her a lot of leverage to go shop and do things and take care of kids and stuff like that. Well, I guess when in Georgia, the more kids man have, he get rewarded by the farmer because the farmer let him stay in the house and free, and they get to do a lot of things because that farmer know the kids gonna grow up and work for him.
Wow. What was the paradigm back then, Bo? Because I think what's interesting about you, we're in 2025, but you grew up, I want to say Jim Crow, but you grew up in a very racially stratified, segregated South. How was that dynamic?
Well, either from childbirth to the time that I came here from Georgia to live in Miami.
The Village, right?
They call a place they call the Village. My mom is a black predominant neighborhood where you had a lot of places like apartments. It was built like a plantation. And what happened, they all was the same color, different that and stuff like that. Well, anyhow, when I got to Florida, everything was just different. Because we don't see in Georgia, where I'm from 3, 4, 5 years ago, you see cows, hogs, goats, dogs running around. But however, when we got to Miami, you seen apartments, ice cream trucks. I never heard of ice cream truck, seen it before when I was a little. God damn, man, So
I country boy in a big city.
Poor boy from Georgia, here in the city. So overall, I grew up around in a neighborhood where nothing but drug dealers, prostitutes, dudes robbing, stealing, breaking in, B&E, and I grew up on that kind of stuff. I went to school from elementary, from high school to North Miami Beach. I went to that school, and I quit school.
What was causing those issues?
Well,
really, what was causing all that, bro?
The thing that really caused me to be who I was, we didn't have nothing. My mama was poor. We was on welfare, and we made sandwiches for lunch when the other kids had meal tickets to buy that. So I really come from a poor family. My mama lived on Miami Beach, and she did all she can do. So
Where was Pops?
well, I got two different daddies. I had a stepdaddy. He was driving trucks. He wasn't my daddy. My biological father, he was living probably in Bunch Park, I think, because at the time when I really got to meet my real father, he came in and out and got me. As I got older, I knew who my father was. My mama let me realize who my father was, and therefore I went to stay with him from Overlocker to Liberty City. But however, I grew up in the village where it was rough. They break in houses, they do this, they do that, they do this. And I had a guy who was probably a notorious drug dealer, and I watched him when I was coming up. He knew my mom a lot.
Who was this Big Jake? What was
His
this?
name was Big Jake.
Big Jake.
Jake was a guy that he had a lot of people's working for him and doing selling drugs and doing from time to time. And I watched him with a sharp eye.
So in that environment, Jay was the standard of success. Where was the black doctor?
Well,
The lawyer?
what I seen him do, he come around with all the money, the bags of money, people's running from corner to corner, drug dealers giving him money. So I watched that. And little you know, before 13, 14 years old, I was in that same position, selling drugs, cocaine.
You started selling cocaine at
13 and 14 years old, I come out of that kind of school.
But how you even understand how to package dope?
Well, I had to learn coming up from those guys. At 13, I didn't know what boy was. Boy was heroin.
And
Girl was cocaine.
Okay.
So I learned the fundamental of that. And I also doing, people's always talking about Bo Dilley got a bad gambling habit. He got this and he got that and this. Well, let me tell you something. That's what I did. I survived. I met a professional gambler named Roadrunner. He was sharp. He broke all drug dealers. And you would think he's a drug dealer. He got killed in the streets, though. However, but...
What was his favorite game? What was his favorite game to gamble? His favorite hustle?
He's a professional gambler. He played cards, but he can cheat real good. He can do a lot of things. He taught me a lot of things, and some of the same haters out in the streets talking about Bo Dilley got a gambling problem. My only problem was the casino. Can't beat that hard rock. Before it's the lames in the streets, I can beat them. I grew up gambling. I went to Vegas gambling. Vegas, I chartered planes and airplanes. I did what I can do.
But Boo, let's go back to the fermenting of all that. You're a kid selling dope. You wasn't in school?
Well, I quit school. I wasn't getting no money playing school. Coach wanted me to play football. But mama said, yeah, he gonna play. I said, I'll show you gonna play. I run away from home at an early age, and I was a strong survivor. I learned how to live on the land around a lot of drug dealers that had done this. Back in the 70s, we had real drug dealers.
Well, you said a girl put you on. Tell that the story.
Well, later on in that part, she hadn't came in a play yet. I'm still growing from the 70s. From the 70s, I graduated and started selling drugs of my own on 79th, 59th Street, 7th Avenue, different little things, and I grew an empire.
Boo, at that time, though, I'm a big devil's advocate. Because when we were working on Miami Kingpins, I have a family member that's a drug counselor.
Right.
And Boo, it's a moment of reckoning. He said, Peter, I don't want to have anything to do with those people. I got to deal with these addicts that they created as addicts. When you were doing what you were doing, I guess when a man is desperate, morality and survival don't really go hand in hand. When you were doing what you were doing, did you look at those people as addicts? Destruction?
Well, basically, I wasn't no desperate guy. I learned the fundamental of the drug game. When I met like drug dealers, dope addicts, people's everyday life, I learned to deal with them. I slept with them. I slept in a base house for 2-3 years. And I had, matter of fact, I had this girl, since you met her, her name was Baby Doll. She was whoring in the streets, prostituting, and she was bad looking, man.
How old was she?
She was a young girl. She might have been, I was way older than her. I probably was in my 20, probably 22, 23, 24. And she had to be in her teens, like 17, 18, messing with the wrong dude. You know, you have those things where women grew up and they're in the wrong spot with the wrong guys and turned this girl out. She's very educated.
She was educated.
Yeah. So what she did, she I had a dope house where my dope house probably was making about $2,000 every 2 weeks. And she implemented something to me. She said, look, I'm going to make you rich within 6 to 1 year.
Did you believe her?
Yeah, I believed her. I said, if you can do that, you ain't never got to sell drugs no more. She said, oh, yeah. I said, you ain't never got to go on the street horn no more. I'm going to take your drug habit. I'm going to give you everything you're supposed to do. But what I did, I weaned her off the drugs. I did it. And it's very hard to take a girl off crack cocaine. But I did it because in the return, she made me $1 million.
Wow.
In 6 months, I'm going to tell you how. Well, she had this big thing where she was you can tell she was a pretty girl. She had where she bring all the prostitutes comes to the dope house. You know, they had a club right down the street called Eddie Dive In on 7th Avenue, where a lot of pimps and hoes, and they have these big mic shows that goes around, and all these hoes be around. But getting back to the lady, she had every drug addict she knew that went from house to house to come to my house. I went from selling $2,000 every 2 weeks to making $2,000 a day with this girl. She was great. And I fell in love with her because...
You fell in love with her?
Yeah, I fell in love with her. I'll tell you what happened. She was a bad-looking girl. She was on drugs, on crack. And I took this girl and I weaned her off it. My first impulse was to take her to the clinic off of 13th Street, down off of by the county jail on 13th Street. There was a clinic in the background now. So we carried her down there. We get all shopping up, get her medicine, taking her stuff. And I had to be with her every day. I had to sit with her. It's hard to wean a person off drugs because when a person got addicted, a problem, you just can't expect them to just stop selling drugs. I mean, stop using drugs.
But Bo, you see the contradiction of what we're talking about, right? You want to wean this young lady off the drugs because you have an affinity to her.
Yeah.
But you making a profit feeding the other addicts.
Okay, but I did something I shouldn't have done. That was wrong. And you know when a guy selling drugs and then he realized what he did, and I went through that community, man. I went in Liberty City, man. I distributed so much drugs in that town and at that time at a younger age, and it was wrong.
When you started to boom and you started to come into your own because the stories born of the infamous mansion that everyone in Miami talks about, where you parked a Rolls Royce in the living room?
Well,
that Ross and these guys keep talking about?
Well, when I done that, that was back in 82, 83. I built that house from the ground, and that same lady helped build that house. She helped accumulate 5 or 10 more properties. I used to fly from here to Vegas and leave her with $1 million. She would go to the Colombians and Cubans and give them the money. But she told me, she said, Nathan, whenever I know you're gonna get rich, and when you get rich, you're gonna let me go for these other girls. They're gonna come. But I should have fell in love with a whore. She was the best thing.
Wow.
I tell you what, you have a Susie Cusey, which is a girl. She thinks she like this, she like that. She likes to beg on the sly. But a prostitute, she's gonna tell you what she wants from Jump Street. So it's a long story with that. I can't get into that.
No, it's not a long story. Because think about it. If you're dating Susie Key, you're still taking her out spending money, right?
Well, that lady acting Susie Cusey, because when you're talking, she says, don't talk to me, I ain't no, but what is you doing? You're doing the same thing.
For the date.
You're doing the same thing, whether you want to like it. But I feel, when I went to prison and I sat and thought about it, I fell in love with a whore. I should have kept her because I know what I had.
But let's back up before you go to prison. Bo, you're on top.
Yeah, but it just come out there. But casino. I had all the money, the casino. I did everything I wanted to do.
How much you made in your heyday, like a week?
Probably out of it's at some points our slow day was like $30,000 to $40,000
A day.
on a slow day. No, not on a day. On a Friday and Saturday, when the county and the state they get paid all at one time, we jump from 40 on a Friday to Saturday and a Thursday, $70,000 to $80,000 a day.
Well, you said you began basically on a farm in Georgia. Now you're approaching millions. What does that type of money do to you, man? Psyche-wise.
Well, I was young.
That's why
And
I'm
when I went to
asking.
prison, I was no more than 29,
So I'm
8,
asking, with
30
that
years
type of
old.
money at that
And
age, what are things you're doing?
I didn't care about money. I didn't know the fundamental. I didn't know the value of money. Because I tell you why, I made so much money. Vegas really flew Learjets. I'm about the only one in Miami you can say, well, did the Learjet come to Overlock Airport and get you? No, they can't tell you that.
There's a story you going to Vegas to gamble.
Well, I
right?
went to Vegas
And
to gamble.
you
and
basically telling Larry
and-
Holmes you got time for him.
Well, not only that, I went to Vegas. I used to go to Vegas, put $1 million in a cage and do a lot of things. I was known like one of the top known celebrities. They thought I was a celebrity.
Yeah, what
But I
happened
used
to
to tell
Larry Holmes
everybody,
during the boxing night when he
yeah,
came to
but
the
Larry
table
Holmes
and
gonna
you?
come back up. Yeah, I mean, we skipping the surgery. We'll get back to him in the casino.
So you're starting to make this money, Bo. Did you ever start to think about the feds, the police at all? Do you ever think about that stuff before it happened?
No, I did later on
Why you didn't think about them back then?
because my organization was so smooth. Man, I used to get out, and I went almost 8 to 10 years and never got a traffic ticket for drugs. Where I made a mistake in the drug game, when I used to ship $1 million or $2 million to Georgia. A lot of people say, what happened to his money? What this, what that? But little they know, I had an auntie in Georgia. She lived in Jessup, Georgia. I got a bridge over there in Jessup right now. When you cross that bridge, coming there, bringing them from Jessup to off of 301, 123 to that prison, I built that bridge. They took $2 or $3, $4 million from me in the 80s and built a bridge, and they built a library in that little small town right across the track. I had my mama's sister, Elizabeth Kelly. Somehow, I don't know why and what she done.
Explain.
The little small town sheriff, he went to her house and said, we're gonna care and put all your little kids in the back of a van if you don't go get that drug money that you saving for the guy, for your nephew in Miami. She called me. I got a grocery store on 7th Avenue, big, long. I own the whole block up there, beauty salon, Chanel's grocery store, rent office, game room. Game room was Bobo game room. I think I was to the game room. She was crying and hollering that the police said if I don't give her the money, that they're gonna put her in jail and put her kids up. I said, don't do that. I said, don't give up my money. I beg her. Okay. So what we did, it was a lawyer. By the name is name of this lawyer. He died now. We flew. I can't call his name right now. We flew from here to Jacksonville in a little jet within 35 to 40 minutes. And when I got up there, she gave my money away.
Because you did say
The lawyer name was Stewart Michigan. I paid Stewart Michigan a fee of $4,000-$5,000 every month, like a payment, whether it was anybody went to jail or didn't go to jail. It's a lot of polices, a lot of attorneys, cricket, made money, did everybody it.
Boy, I'm curious about how you guys and the Colombians and the Cubans kind of put aside cultural differences to get money together. How was that relationship with you, with them?
With the Colombian and the Cubans?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I initiated that between the Cubans and the Colombians because I had a young lady when I started in Carol City. Her name was Gladys, works at this Cuban shop. And during the time when I was coming up, As a teen, all I did, I was a bad dude, man. I robbed and did all this. Rob, steal, look for who had the money, didn't care about nobody who got the money. I used to look for all the big time drug dealers.
How you used to rob people? Because they say the guy who robs the killers is the craziest guy.
Well, at some time, I used to be a robber. And when I was young, if you do a math, I was 16 years old. I had 18 counts of armed robbery in the county jail at a young age, this back in the 70s. I was young. Judge Marfield, Judge Baker bonded me over to juvenile, and you had two more guys that went to jail, Lenny Moore and probably a guy named Joe Murphy. Both of them dead now. In the case, too old for them to even talk about what this and what that was. But that's how I started. I started in the streets. I used to live and eat off the land and didn't care how I eat. I remember saying something on the documentary that I was a lion.
I remember that.
And I ate my prayer either way I can. So this thing about slip and slide came about when I got out of jail in 2019. I went to Ted Lucas and read, and me and Convertible Burke, we sat down and we put something together about this thing that we got now, which is a great, great documentary. Probably one of the best documentaries these people's ever seen.
Oh, we're top 10 because I think the conversation we're having, I think a lot of times the story is told from the top down. This story we told is from the ground level, right? Bo, but you become what you're becoming. You built a nightclub with Big Ike, the grocery. Why did you start to evolve beyond just the street and start to build business and infrastructure?
Well, what happened, I met Isaac Hayes, but probably was during that time, if you want to know the truth about it, in the world can hear about, Ike was the greatest thing that came through Miami.
I remember
Ike was greater than I. Ike made money. I learned from Ike because Ike had his first house on 67th and about off of 6th Quarter somewhere around in the village. That's where we grew up, in the village. All the dope and the money came out of the village. The village was tore down. The old village was tore down. A lot of people don't know about the old village. But Ike had all the drug dealers running the houses and running Convertible. Burke was working for Ike. He grew up during that time. Well, getting back with Ike, Ford's with the property, the money, the business, and Ike did not build my house. He built a lot of part
But
up
you
at
guys
7th
started to
Avenue.
build an
We started
infrastructure,
building
is what
and
I'm
doing a lot
saying,
of things and building an empire. We opened the heart of the city together. We have another third guy we put in. He was in the game. I won't call his name, but he's a friend. He living now. He can hear that story, but he's a friend of mine. I cannot carry his name, but we got a lot of people that retired in this game.
But it's the evolution I'm getting at.
Yes.
There's the evolution.
Okay,
you start connecting with Al C. Hastings even.
Well, Al C. Hastings became, after I went to jail, was a lawyer, Al C. Hastings. It was another lawyer, Steve Rosen.
Steve Rosen, I remember.
Well, the government wanted Al C. Hastings because he had beat another case somewhere down the road. And somewhat, it was another man implemented to the police or to the agent or secret peoples about Bo Dilley giving Al C. Hastings a substantial amount of money, large money.
Did you?
Well, the wheels rolling and the time limitation is over, but we can say somewhat, but it wasn't like they made it. We can do that.
So why you started to fund politicians, bro? That's a power move. Why you started to fund politicians? That's leaving the street now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It wasn't leaving the streets. It was something before I got indicted, and then had I let Al C. Hastings send me to prison, I might have not had got that life sentence. Because it was a guy by the name he's from the Bahamas.
Something you're not saying, Bo, how did you start funding Al C. Hastings? How did that even occur?
Everybody loved money. But Al C. Hastings wasn't a part where I knew. It was some inside peoples knew him, and I had caught a case with him.
Oh.
And when I caught that case, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
What case you caught with LCAs?
I caught a gun case back in 1986. 9 counts are found for filing a false application
Yeah.
to buy a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That case, I got 35 years. Al.C. Hastings gave me 3 years probation. However, he did not run the time the way he did not run the time concurrently the way it's supposed to been done. So once I violated my probation, it was a U.S. attorney by the name of Frank Taman. He said I violated my probation because I was trying to negotiate 300 keys of coke with an agent by the name of Al Brewer in the Register Hotel, and
300 kilos of coke.
they carried that tape before a grand jury here in Miami. Grand jury went by it. So they claim I was involved with a lot of police corruption, judges and stuff like that. And somewhat I knew people's, but it wasn't like they planted it. So
What do you think about those guys, Bo?
they took that tape, and that tape got me violated. Judge Thomas E. Scott gave me 35 years for violating my probation. And it stuck until 20 years later, where I studied the law, got it come back, and got a reversal.
Yeah, but let's back up. You go to prison. We want to hear about those years. How was that?
Prison?
Yeah, prison.
Oh, prison was, man, this is amazing, man. You know,
Prison was amazing, Bo?
Yeah, prison was amazing. I would never forget and never regret that I went to prison.
Explain
I
why.
learned. I learned about peoples. I learned about what life was about. Family, friends, peoples, lawyers who cried for their life, did for this. I did 32
I know. What's one of the worst things you saw in there?
And here in prison, when I say was amazing, prison itself, man, it's probably one of the, you know, when they say lock him up because he's selling drugs, lock him up because he's doing this, lock him up because he's doing that.
Yeah.
Some of the prisoners we speak make more money than on the streets. You got guys got $40,000 and $30,000 in their account. How? Selling drugs in prison. You got more prostituting going on in prison. Do they know that? You got more killing, stabbing. And it was a time when I went to prison in the 90s, in which I'm writing about. I got a book coming with all this in it.
I know.
It was one time I went up there, there was a coincidence where they have Officer Washington. Probably in the 90s, he was bothering an inmate. Inmate took a hammer, beat him in the head, killed him. Didn't want no appeal. Kill him. Seen about 32 to 42 killings in prison. I did time in the penitentiary where they done this, where they sold drugs, where they prostitute, where they kill you for snitching, they kill you for messing with little babies. They kill you for doing all this. I overcome all that.
Well, Bo,
But I had to learn.
Bo, when I listened to you tell a story about prison, right? You said there's killings going on in there, dope dealing. It sounds like a cycle, but it sounds like a cycle. It sounds like, okay, the street basically, it's like this was created in the street. You have a population who basically is just in a circle, and then the end all is prison. It sounds like a setup almost.
Well, I want to explore this prison thing because people say, sit in the jail, do this, do that. You got corrupted captains, lieutenants, women selling this, bringing contribution into the thing. People's doing this. They still all eating. They got more killing that happened in the penitentiary than the state. They doing all this, man. But yet, though, people say, lock him up, throw the key away. He in jail. He went to jail for this, he did that. Did anybody ever try to go investigate some of the prisons that line drugs, money, all this on the compound?
Why are the prisons so corrupt, Bo?
Money, greed. You got Christmas coming around, and a lot of people that work In the judicial system, they sell, they hungry for money. They own drugs. Some of them on crack. And I was out there back when I was coming up, probably in about 83, 84. We talking about drug addicts. No, let's don't talk about the drug addicts. Let's talk about the people's work for the judicial system and the peoples that work for the Social Security Department. They work for food stamp office. They work for the post office. They work, I mean, people's in high class jobs. And I know for a fact, some judges, because I was accused of having 8 or 9, 10 corrupted judges.
So your
And
trap
that's
houses had socialites coming. You had all kind of people coming.
indeed. I had a judge. I had people, for real, I had people's work for AT&T phone company a long time ago, the post office, garbage can companies. But they weren't junkies. They was undercover people that loved it, just like you every day and look just good as you in that suit you got.
Wow,
They
dealing with
come
their
here,
own issues.
they
huh?
come here and do things secretly. And it's no lie. I wouldn't sit up there and tell you no lie.
What makes you think when you see that, when you see society like that, what perspective does it give you? Because it's almost like we're in a world where we don't know who the real gangsters are.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. I bring these things out. It's just a different generation now. As opposed to when I was coming, we didn't have what the youngsters doing today, today's drug dealers.
What's the difference? Because it sounds like back then, but when I spoke to Pam, cocaine, it was a party drug.
Well, I won't say it was a party drug.
No?
It's a different type of drug that goes on from the 80s to now.
It seems like there's more murder and mayhem now.
Well,
I don't know.
probably the mint of the cocaine and the drugs that when I was doing in the 80s, we didn't have that fentanyl.
Gotcha.
That's a killer. We didn't have so much of the Molly. I read about the Molly when I came home. We had, only our thing was we had the brown heroin. That was a killer. But it wasn't like the fentanyl, the pills, the Molly. They converting pills into, pills. And the kids kept dying from them. You catch a guy, he try to see a girl that he like her, young girl, turn out, she didn't know no devil. Crush the pill up, hit this, she take it, she died. She didn't know.
Well, that's the thing, boy. It seems, I don't know if this generation, my generation, I don't know if people are more unhappy, they're more medicated. It's like a heaviness now with the drug deal. It's a viciousness. In your days, it seemed like a means to an end. In this day, it just seems like chaos with no direction.
Well, my
You get what I'm saying?
opinion of the game as opposed when I was in it to today, my thing is to the people that's selling drugs, it's not going to work. The kids using drugs, they need to get up off it. They dying. What is a high and you dead? What is a high and you take a chance that you don't know if you're going to live the day or tomorrow? Why? Because somebody done put some in some drugs to make more money. That's the skill of what we talking about, cocaine and heroin from the time when I was doing. They had pure cocaine. Now you got cocaine where people mixing cocaine, they putting fentanyl in it to cut it to make more money.
Make more money.
They got Molly. It looked like crack. It detrimental. It's not as detrimental to a person than the fentanyl, but that's what we got. And it's a bad thing, man. So,
but boy, you know what you're saying. It's almost like in your day, the dope man had a conscience.
Well, it's not that the dope man
Talk
had
to
a
me.
conscience. The dope man sold pure dope and cocaine, which get you high. So the youngsters and the people that in the drug game now, they don't care what they sell. So it's not that they had a conscience. Their thing was to make $1. Their thing was not to bring death upon their organization because it was a penalty for it. Nowadays, death or whatever the penalty come, most guys in the game don't care. They don't care about your child. But I tell the
Back
dudes,
then you cared? That's interesting.
yes, because we never We never sold drugs and gave drugs to little minors and kids and had drive-by shooters and doing stuff like. We didn't do that. They didn't never. They might be a charge. You can't go nowhere where they charge me with murders. You can't go with for shooting a little girl, for going in the alley doing something. Cause this boy Tom owed Mr. Joe $5,000, and he sent him Tom over there to kill his mama, his kids, and stuff like. We didn't do that.
There was still a
We,
rule code of conduct.
yeah, but we could, we if your boy did something to me, we couldn't do nothing to the family. We couldn't do that. He had to pay that money. He's not gonna get out like that. We didn't do that. We about getting the money. I went for about 7 to 8 years in khaki pair of pants, t-shirts, walking around. See, when I was selling drugs, it was a job to me. I walked around. I ain't walking around with gold chains and big stuff like that. When you see me, all mine was in the casino. I didn't walk around. I fitted in.
So let's take it full circle, Bo. You guys made a lot of money. And I've always wondered why other communities, go back to the Colombians, go back to the Cuban communities, they made a transition, even the Russian gangsters, but it wiped us out. Like when I look at Liberty City, it just, Brickell was built. A lot of the drug profits from Miami has been proven to build the city, right?
Well,
but why the black inner city community, it didn't get any payoff from it?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, various reasons. During the time, the black man made the money. Like when I was out there, I had Rolls Royces, I had Porsches, trucks, Lamborghini, every car they can use. But if a black man bought a car or bought a building, a bill, an empire at that time with money, he going to jail. The Fed's going to lock him up. As opposed now, I can get here and get $10 million and go buy 10 condominiums and have them built. Won't nobody say nothing. I can buy 10 cars. Well, I once did that before. I went to Miami Lincoln and bought 15 cars at one time.
15? Why you buy 15 cars?
15.
Who needs 15 cars at one
Well,
time?
I tell you what, I had a place they call Ambassador Rent Office. I made a profit with it. I had a rent office that, Avis made all the money with these little small let back cars convertible. And all the girls were buying at $15, $20 a day.
You talk about the girls a lot, Bo.
Yeah, because
the
I
ladies love
So
you,
I
Bo.
went there
You talk
and
about the
said,
girls a
well,
lot.
I'm going to go buy me some convertibles, get a gas tank, pull it up back there, and we rented cars. I didn't buy them just to drive them. I had luxury cars to drive.
You said something very interesting. Basically, you're saying a black man with that type of money back then became a target.
It's not became a target. He went to jail. You got some people that in jail, I know, filthy rich, never got out no more. And when I got out of jail, I seen the Colombian, the Cubans, Hispanics. They would all these, what they call these stores now? Food running all off the stairs.
That's what I'm saying. They
Yeah,
transition.
but that's money from their parents, from their kids, that them put it together. Some of them gone and dead. They didn't go to jail. Someone went to jail. But now they spending that cocaine money.
So
It's nowhere in the world
why
you see all
why
these.
didn't stir that in our community, man?
We couldn't have at that time. And at the time, like when I got out, I made enough money. I'm supposed to have the same thing.
That's what I mean.
You're right. I'm supposed to have that same thing.
That's what I mean.
I'm supposed to have 200-300-story high buildings way up there in my name. I'm supposed to have the car lights, the furniture and stuff. But it's no pity on my. It's only pity come from me.
Do you think about that, Bo? Because I thought about you. I never had millions of dollars.
Well,
how do you lose? Like, how do you how do you make that transition?
Well, it goes and it comes. It's hard for a man that done made 30, 40, 50 million dollars as opposed to today. He don't have that type of money. He lost it. He went to jail when he was young. Half of his family took a lot of money. Half of this, he fucked up a lot of money too, going to Vegas in and out. But when I came on, I can eat though. I know I had $1 million somewhere, and then one time $1.5 million over 30-some years. That's no money.
Did the women take some of that money, bro?
No, I won't say the women's took none.
You said it in the documentary.
No,
the women love the money. You said it.
No, but I won't say some of the women's, but paying bills and eating out the money and gambling out the same money, trying to support a family. We'll say it like that.
Got you.
I had some point where I had a lot of things in certain women's names other women's didn't know about that I'm exploring today that houses, triplex, duplex. When they heard I went to prison, they sold it. I had a life sentence. You didn't know nobody. I couldn't put the police on because I bought it in their name.
Boy, you a powerful man. Women like
Was a
power.
powerful man.
Women like power. Were they drawn to the
Women's like a
power?
real man. They like a real man.
What's a real man?
They want
What's
They
a
want
real
a
man?
man. A real. When I say a
What's
real
a real
man, women don't like nothing good. She don't like no good man. She like a third-blooded, cold-hearted man.
I don't know why
Everything is yes to a woman.
she
It's
don't
okay.
like that.
She gonna like that man. That lady Mary J. Blige, she sang some bad boys no good, but the good boys ain't no fun. And that's true, Peter.
Explain why,
Well,
boy. You were the
because
ultimate bad boy.
because now my thing in my days, and I can say this, and I know from experience, one cannot say unless he did that time.
Yeah.
He ain't do 30 years and come back and say he had a girl, he can do this. He had a girl and he found out this. But in my days, man, I was grown.
Well,
And the
Bo,
drug, but I'm finna explain it to
Throw it
you.
at me.
You let me.
please.
And the guys that was the little guys that was in the dope game that had plenty of money, 40, 50, 60,000 dollars, right? They mess with any woman they wanted. They take a woman, a man working, he had a chance.
Wow.
He didn't have a chance.
That's
But now,
cold-blooded.
guess what? The big fish ate up them. Because in their days, where you bother with them, the big boys eat up your days. A woman like money. She can say she don't. She can say he lying. He telling the truth. I mean, ladies, let's be for real.
Let's be for real.
I mean, but I want to say this here.
Talk to me.
You don't have Michelle, you don't have 10 women that you can say a Michelle Obama. You don't have 10 men that you can say Obama. When I say these things, something loyalty to their wife or husband, money, the glamour things, expert things that they see, it don't bother them. They dedicated to their family. They dedicated to trying to educate. Very few. You ain't got 10. I don't think you can give me 10 that are Michelle Obama. And I tip my head and salute to both of them.
So, Bo, you're telling me for the average married man out there that's a working, regular guy, if a Bo Dilley in his prime, millions of dollars, step in a room, she gonna turn her head?
Not necessarily.
90%.
Not necessarily, but 80%.
80%. Whew.
Because if something is like this here, the lady been begging her husband all day to buy this new car. The lady been buying her husband all this other day, but he don't have it.
Don't have it.
She trying to keep up with the Jones family. For instance, my girl, she lived next to a lady who working. She said, baby, my friend, man just bought her a brand new car. They just got a house. Well, the same working man got a good job, a very intelligent job. He can't do that.
Can't do that. He can't do that.
He can't do that.
He can't do that.
And she sits there and you keep promising me you're gonna do that. But first of all, don't tell me about the Jones family. And that's the first mistake we make.
True.
But you have good women out there, man, loyalty to their wife.
Well, I stopped dating a couple women, Bo, because I felt I couldn't afford them.
Well,
if
you couldn't afford them, she's gonna cheat.
Yeah.
I don't care. But the good thing that you can always respect her about. And she know, one may see this and hear this and know, I'm telling the truth about it. What you don't know don't hurt. And the most important thing is she give you enough respect, and I have been in that little part. This lady loyalty to her husband and everything, but she went to meet him in the Bahamas. She went to Vegas. She went to California.
Boy, you know why I'm asking that question. I think that the average man's drive, the Ferrari, the mansion, we're species in some primal ways to attract a woman. So having said that, Bo, a lot of guys in the street hustling. A Fed once told me, Peter, 80% of the guys I locked up, it was their woman who snitched.
Well, that's not true.
That's what he
that's
told
not
me.
true. Well, that's not how they woman stitch. The woman didn't make them. The woman didn't make them go get caught and sell drugs. The woman didn't.
But here it is. You're dating me. You know I'm hustling. You know what I'm doing.
You're not doing the right thing while she put you in jail. Let's say that.
But why, when she's with me, she
You
don't
messing
tell me
with
to stop
Tom,
hustling?
you messing with Miss Mary, Sally, and you messing with a numerous of ladies.
But boy, you understand what I'm
And this
saying?
lady being fair, she feeding your kids, she doing everything, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
So boy, if you're hustling in the streets and you're dating a woman and she doesn't say, hey, I can't be with you unless you stop. You understand what I'm saying? A woman that's with you hustling, if she loves you, all the money, will she tell you, baby, look, I don't need the nice life. You need to quit this and go get a UPS job?
Well, during my days, she could have. I ain't need her because there's no way in the world a woman gonna tell me to stop making $20,000 and $30,000 a day.
Wow.
And that same woman sitting up there acting like she Miss Chancellor, watching the stories, wearing all this jewelry, buying every pair of shoes she wanted, and at the beauty salon telling her about what her man did. We didn't get that working. And the people there know you didn't get it working. So in so many words, man, you got some good ladies out there,
True.
and I can't just, just talk about bad all the
But
women.
you're saying the
They's there
majority is attracted by the glitter.
65%,
65%.
100%.
When you went
Well,
in,
first of all, I want to say this. The average girl, and I tell the world this, and at that time, I used to tell my mama, I think I'd rather, at one point, had married a prostitute or no good whore.
you keep saying this, Bo.
Because it
You
tickled
keep
me.
coming
I've
back
been
to
through.
this.
No, because it's so true. It's so true.
Because you think she's
no,
raw.
because
she's,
we know what Bo Dilley had when he went to prison, a whore,
That's a strong word, Bo.
a whore, and I fell in love with her. I had one and let her go. She the one made me provide for some of the people that I had.
So, Bo, the typical man has an issue with a woman with a certain past. That didn't phase you in that lifestyle.
Well, at once upon a time, everybody and every drug dealer, they see some of the prettiest women, and what they say, man, she pretty, but she's a has-been. She want this, she want that, she want this, she want everybody, man, who done had some money. Either got killed, dead, or went to jail. It done happened. You done heard it. This woman, he went to jail, and she was with another one in 30 days.
So there's no love in the game, is what you're saying.
Well, a long time ago, you had Pretty Boy Floyd, you had these people that, women was crazy about pretty boys. The ugliest boys got all the money now. When you walk around, you see a woman, she look like another Beyonce. Say, man, what that doing with that woman?
You see it
It
all the
ain't
time.
hard to figure out.
You see
She
it
got
all the
money.
time.
But overall, man, I don't try to downrate the ladies.
Indeed.
I don't try to downrate the men's, but I experienced a lot of things that I'm saying. I'm not just saying it. I'm not saying that some of the women's is the way I proclaim them to be.
Indeed.
So we need to straighten that for the record.
Indeed.
But it is what it is, Peter.
Indeed.
And that you brought the good out of me by trying to explain that. And I don't want to, try to embarrass or offend no woman,
course.
no man. It's just
course.
life. It's what it is.
But bring it full circle, because I think what's so important, we have a generation of young people, Bo, who all want to be gangsters. Whether it's in their heart, whether it's
for
real,
me-
and you're the original. And I don't know if by default, Convertible Burt, knew you influenced a generation. Do you think about that?
Well, Burke, he's a very unique guy. He's one of the typical guys that made plenty of money. I can speak about him. You see him on the documentary Slip and Slide. Slip and Slide did good.
Yeah,
When
we did
he
very
created Burke, he created the guy Boss Man who
Did
worked
very
for
good.
Ike for a long time. But Boss Man wasn't no Ike. The real head of the whole lion of the whole show, not Bo Dilley, it was Isaac Hicks.
But Bo,
He
you
was the
hear what
man.
I'm you hear
But let
what
me
I'm saying.
finish telling you, huh?
Talk to me. What I'm saying is, when I'm listening, Bo, you guys built something.
Empire.
Yeah.
And we did it together. But we want to go back to what you said about the
these
young
babies,
generation.
these
No, the
kids.
young generation as opposed to the killing. And my advice to them, man, I would be glad to if I can sit down and have a class with them and tell them that the violence and the killing, it doesn't pay. You're going to jail. And when you go to jail, they're going to lock you up. Prime example. And it's pity, and it's sad. The government have locked up some of our good peoples that wasn't that kind of lion that they put them to be. For example, you got the Booby Boys.
Booby boys, yeah, booby boys.
You got the John Doe
John
Boys.
Doe boys, yeah.
I met some of them in prison. They're not that monster like they supposed to be. But what happened, they was in a crime like fighting over drug territory. Instead of getting the money, they was fighting over food, luxury, cars, women's, and it didn't mean nothing. So the government came back, and it was a few instances where one or two of them did do what they do. But they put the whole pot, put all the beans in one pot, cooked it with corn and beans. And this is what we had.
How do we get it back though? Because
We
it's
can't
gone
get back
wild,
what done
bro.
happened because the court, they done gone. Some of them kids not as bad as they claim to be. Some of them deserve another chance. I got another chance. I messed up.
Speak about that. You were pardoned. How did that feel when you thought, boy, you're gonna be in prison for life, right? I'm assuming.
Well,
I don't know. Did you?
it wasn't, people say I got a partner. It wasn't a partner I got.
Yeah, so how
Donald Trump was one of the best things that happened for us during the 2019, 2018. Donald Trump, they can say what they want to say about Mr. Trump. He helped a lot of black folks. He helped a lot of black folks. When you had the U.S. attorney was Jeff, but that U.S. attorney in 18 or 20, he said, we're not going to let them drug dudes out of jail. But what happened, Obama, he implemented a law. He didn't make it retroactivity, but he should have. He felt clemency and gave those guys a partner.
So Obama started, is what you're saying?
Obama was the one originated, and Trump told him what he'd done, Obama could have done. And therefore, Trump came back in 2019, 2018, after it was statistic by the government, prosecutors, judges, fire departments, and all of them, saying that y'all locked these black peoples up based upon a race. You probably heard about it. Black African Americans got locked them up for crack cocaine. You made one rock equivalent to 100 grams.
Your whole life.
So one rock gave a guy a life sentence.
It's crazy.
You had you had one 10 grams of powder with an E cut up to so many keys of coke. And therefore the court was mandatory to give these people that time.
You think that was just another reason to lock us up?
No, but then during that time when I came around, I was stuck up under that. Donald Trump didn't give me no partner. They got a thing they call the First Step Act.
First step.
And what happened after they had an evaluation of the drug game and the things that they found this law was unconstitutional upon a racist motive, they changed the law, man. They didn't give nobody no partner. They still doing it. They changed the law. They made a mistake. If you watch this tape real closely,
So what do you feel about Trump?
let me finish this here. If you watch this tape real closely, that slip and slide made about the Miami King drug piece, they put a very important message to people that they're not really paying attention to. Ronald Reagan. He put the war on drugs. Do people see Ronald Reagan in that? When he initiated the war on drugs, that's when everything got like that.
He also called black people monkeys at one point.
Well, that's the race car game went in. Okay, if they call them monkeys or whatever, not only a monkey, I'd rather be a monkey than have 2 life sentences.
True.
I mean, you worried about something what he said? They say sticks and,
That's true. So Reagan started the whole.
You have it on.
In the film. We
In
do
the
have it
film.
in the film. I'm being devil's advocate.
And you have Rick Ross and all the boys
Talking
say, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, we sure did.
Y'all reverse this. You have Ted Lucas talking about the drugs. I don't want nobody just look at this thing they call slip and slide and say, okay, we showing a bunch of drug dealers and they making money and they charging that. That's not the significance of that tape. Each one of us who went to who in that tape, I did 37 years. Boss did 37 years. Burke, he did roughly 20-some years.
Yeah.
It sends a message. All the stuff that they had doing in the 80s, man. People say what they want to. Everybody suffered the consequence.
Yeah.
So look at that tape real hard.
Yeah.
And Ronald Reagan, he put the war on drugs. And therefore, each one of us was caught with that. And we got a second chance. That's what they call a second chance.
Yeah,
Act. The first step, the second chance. It wasn't a partner.
So let's go back to Donald Trump, though, Bo, and you tell me if I'm wrong. I think Donald Trump, and maybe I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, I think maybe he has recognized there is a divide between wealthy blacks and blacks of the inner city. And I think in his mind, because he said it before, he doesn't think those of us that have left that community and reached the promised land, per se, turned our back on the hood. And I don't know, but it looks like Trump is making a case to cater to people in the inner city. I don't know if it's genuine or is it a tactic to win them.
When you say catering, in which way?
Let me say why. He pardons Kodak Black,
Okay.
gangster rapper. Right?
Okay. Why?
I don't
Why?
know. I don't know, Bo.
Why? He was running for a second term. He was running because the blacks was not working for him. He pardoned Bo Dilley. And they say he hadn't did nothing, but he done something for the
Bo, but
blacks.
hear what I'm saying, though. He is catering to a certain demographic of black folks.
Basically,
right?
what you telling
Check
me,
pardon me.
basically what you telling me, Kodak Black is wealthy.
No, I'm saying black is not monolithic. I'm saying there's poor black people, just like there's poor white people, there's rich black people, there's poor black people, right?
Okay.
I think he knows. Oh, let's not kid ourselves. There's a divide between black people.
Well, let me tell
Come
you
on now.
something.
There's some of us who went to Ivy League schools and we're
What
like,
you
I don't
trying?
want to think.
What you trying to say? He
Talk to me.
looked and put that scale to a person that is a higher scale, as opposed to a person that didn't have nothing.
I think he wants to
No.
shame. I don't know. I think Bo, I think, let's be honest, Bo, when we think about the Oprahs of the world, there is this thing where black people feel that wealthy blacks do not lift the hands of the poor black people, right? And I think Trump kind of knows that. And I think he I don't know, maybe.
Well, could you be more specific, because what you're saying,
Jordan,
I'm trying to catch on what you're saying.
Trump
brother.
has been really promoting the fact that he's trying to help exonerate a lot of black people who's been in prison.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yes.
Because if you look around, that's what he done.
Yeah.
Donald Trump let more people out on life centers that had life centers
Wow.
that served, and his intake was that if a person served 20 years, he don't care how much drugs they sold, they should be free. They didn't kill nobody, when charged with murder, and they had a nonviolent case. His thing was, it's not, I don't believe he did it. Some say he did it to run a second term.
I'm asking
I
you.
did it because he knew.
It was wrong.
No, it's not that it was wrong, because if you sold drugs, it's a crime. So selling drugs is not wrong.
So honestly,
No, but he did it for the fact that he said, okay, this man's done served his debt to society. He didn't kill nobody.
Got
You.
you.
give him 20 years. You took him from his family.
Bo, I am in support of my brothers being free. What I'm asking you, Bo, honestly, and I don't know, you believe Trump is doing it because he sees it's wrong, or it's just Trump being Trump and trying to, I don't know, a tactic. So you're saying he's genuinely concerned about the welfare of us being locked up? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, first thing, everybody should know, including you, Donald Trump is being himself. He does what he want to do.
That's true.
Donald Trump once said that he could kill a man, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Sure did.
Did anybody hear that?
Sure
It was
did.
so true.
And Bo,
Donald Trump, not only that,
you're right.
here I am, a convicted felony. I can't walk and get no gun. I can't do this. It is my understanding, unless it's wrong, Donald Trump is a convicted felon now. He is our president. He gets the glory. Donald Trump gets the glory, the happiness, and nobody talk about his conviction, that what he done and what he was charged with among women's. the news, they don't talk about him no more.
No, you
They,
and
everybody praise him.
So Trump and you,
Is he
that's your
praised?
gangster brother.
He's a gangster.
See, no,
He's a gangster.
That's what I'm getting at. I look at America.
So, you
and
know, we can talk about Donald Trump. We can say what we want to say, you know. And bad, I don't want to just sit here
I'm
and
torn,
just
Bo.
rub it in on Donald Trump.
Bo,
But
I'm
it is
torn.
what it is.
Bo, I'm torn because I look at Trump, yes, and I'll be honest with you. I like the fact that he went and decided to press the issue about blacks who are locked up. I'm just saying, it's just a lot.
Well,
it's just a lot with him.
Well, I don't think.
So I'm torn.
I don't think Donald Trump pressed the issues about the blacks being locked up. But what I do think that it was brought to his attention through his staff members that you have to look and consider something about these black folks, which Obama got all the glory for the clemencies, for the things that he done that was great, and everybody praised Obama for coming in, making that law free. And you know how many clemency Obama made during the time when.
So you're saying Obama just did just as much for folks?
No. Obama let more people out on the clemency than Donald Trump. But what happened, Donald Trump did more than Obama.
Gotcha.
For the simple reason why I say that, because Obama did not make it retroactive when he could.
Gotcha.
Trump came and made that same law retroactivity.
Gotcha.
So we can say what we want about our president. He's going to be fair as he could. I think it was Jeff, what the name of that?
Jeff Epstein?
No, it was a U.S. attorney, Obama, Trump fired him when he said he's not going to let him out. He's not going to change it.
Jeff Sessions.
Jeff Sessions. That's his name. Jeff Sessions said, I'm not going to let them out. Donald Trump come on TV because I'm in prison. He said, y'all don't have to worry about him because when that day comes, 2018, he'll be fired.
So how you felt when you're in prison?
All prisons was cheering with their cheerleader.
Wow.
And guess what? They say he meant it. And don't make no mistake, before that day come 2018, Jeff Sessions was fired. He hear me. He understand it. He knew it. He was against what the president, them the only one had the executive power to do this.
So Trump has a fan base in the prisons, is what you're saying?
Well, a lot of black, when he let a lot of blacks out,
Talk to me.
they did go and stand on his chest. Some went there and stood by his side, and they put their pom-poms out. What Trump did, they took pictures. He introduced some of them, wherever people. I think one called me, but I never went. But it could be said that Trump was probably greater than Obama when it came down to the prisoners. But Obama is I will never discount Obama for his smartness, for his wealth. Just like I told you, you can't find 10 men like Obama. You can't find 10 women like Michelle Obama.
True. But bro, I'll be honest, boy. If a man did some kind of law or something and freed me, I probably would ride with him too. It's
not that why. It's not that why I'm riding with him.
Talk to me.
It's what he done.
What he's done, yeah.
And what, just like he said, if you go find some mistake, your black president Obama could have did the same thing I done. You know what?
I was trying to get you to say it, Bo.
You know the power that a president have upon an executive order.
Yeah.
He can can't nobody override it but Congress.
And Bo, I think that's why I myself, I'm just being honest with you, is torn. Because on one end, yes, we all come from environments where if you're a black man in America, prison, whether you have a family member, somehow, somewhere, is affecting you. So the fact that this man the president is focused on that, yes. But then there's another barrage of us saying, well, what else? I don't know, Bo. That's why I'm asking you, because you were in that seat. Well,
everybody and all the black prisoners and everybody, they rooted for Obama. For Donald Trump. They gladly appreciate to have Donald Trump. Probably he was a lot of prisoners a fan of Donald Trump. And I'm one because he freed me. But not only that, Obama could have let me. I was there at the same time Obama let them clemency go, and he didn't go let it do. But Trump came and let me out. But on the other hand, Obama said he thought Hillary was going to win, but Donald Trump beat him. It was no more Hillary. So our life was based up on Hillary for the ones he didn't let go. He could have made it retroactivity. He didn't do it. So, I mean, we talking about apples and oranges. You put them together, one of them going to spoil. So, you know, man, we can sit there and cut through this controversy, Peter, over and over about our president. But we're not going to sit there and make Donald Trump is the best man in the world. But he did when he did to let our black. It's a lot of family who cried, who didn't see their daddy no more, their sister no more. It wasn't only for men's, it's for women's. And when they see them after 20 years, everybody was joy and happy. I had kids when they was 2 years old. Wow. 4 or 5 baby girls. When I came on, all of them had grown up.
Man, how you felt when you got free, man?
It was something. I cried most of the time on the way home, coming home and going to the bus station. It was amazing. When I got there, I got daughters, you know, that can help me now. They weren't like me when I was coming up. I had to get mine from the muscles. But those kids, they went to school, learned how to be something, got their education, and now they is able to buy things, they own houses, cars, do things, raise their kids.
You said something very powerful in the Miami Kingpin's documentary. You said, man, I wasn't able to be there, but the man who was a stepfather to my kids, I love
salute
him
to
and I
him.
respect him.
I salute to him because I didn't care about the woman no more. I got a guy, several guys, helped raise them. And I said he could never ever worry about me trying to mess with his wife or talk to him. I salute to him. I respect him. Yeah. And I know one particular, I go around his house, I talk to his wife or whatever, he don't say nothing. I salute to him. He raised one of my daughters. And I didn't come home mad at him. I didn't come home want to kill him. Them girls was 2 years old crawling. When I see them, they 30-some years old. I left, probably I was about 29 or 30. I come back, those kids 32 years old. They grown now. They got kids. I got grandkids out of this. I have. But what I want to say this, most of my baby girls and some of my other kids, they grew up with their father coming to visit them in prison. And it hurt it. And I salute to those people that helped raise mine. And they, at the same time, should have been real grateful for Obama letting their peoples go. Obama let some go, Trump let the ones that couldn't go.
Got you.
You understand? So it's a little bit of mix of everything. Obama did and made clemency.
Got you. Finally, Bo, we got to touch on this. I waited to the end to touch on this, man. Bo, you're back home, but you're facing something. Can't get into particulars of it.
Right.
But as you sit here with me, you're out on bond.
Well, you're right. I'm out on a bond. You know what the bond is. And at that little time, I won't speak on it. It's just something that happened that it shouldn't happen. I wasn't there, but I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, but I can't justify my mistake. It's just a court thing. It got to be settled in the court. And whichever way the river run, it just run. I can't discuss it, and it's bad to sit here for me to tell these stories, but I live that prison life. I know it. And I am facing something that is an open case, and I can't discuss. I would love to discuss it and talk to the youngsters about it. And where I'm trying to coach them, they need to be coached because the predicament that I am in, they shouldn't be in that. Say no to drugs. Say no to fentanyl. Say no to
everything that's
Molly. Say no to cocaine. Say no to heroin. The best drugs they could say that if you kid or somebody had to go with, you had to lead and eat with it because they selling and giving away free. You know what drugs that is?
Talk to me.
Huh?
What is it?
Marijuana. You got the sick. You got people. So if you see a guy smoking coke or whatever, he got a sickness, you can't get mad at him. In certain states, it's legal. Certain states here is legal. Health problem. So, I mean, what we talking about? All of them made money.
Ain't that crazy?
And you got guys in prison now for a ton of
Ain't that
weed,
crazy?
all kind of weed.
For life.
It violated for 20 or 30
You think they should
grams of.
free them now that since marijuana is becoming legal?
In certain states, they done it. In certain states here in Miami, it's not legal, but they got shops that they can go for their sickness or medication, drugs. So I can't say if you had to do something to sell that. Say no to all of it. It's detrimental to you, to your family, and for your loved ones.
Earlier in the interview, we touched on your influence in hip hop culture, man. Rick Ross, Trick Daddy, these guys. Trick said it. At one point in growing up, you wanted to be Big Ike, Convertible Burt, or Bo Dilley. And Ross, he almost personifies your energy. He's the big boy, fat boy. He on stage is always, balling like I'm Bo Dilley on his John Doe record. As a man that went away to the penitentiary, I've always been told when you do prison time, you almost disappear. But Ross immortalized you in music. When you first heard those records, what was that moment for you?
Well, I heard about it in prison. I only heard and really got the touch of it when I came home in 2019.
Yeah.
I heard the first song of Ross balling like I'm Bo Dilley. I heard that record, I was stung. I salute to Ross. Ross is a very unique person, great expertise. He's very smart.
Very.
And because he took his knowledge and his skills and he turned that money into millions. Some say he worth $100 million. I don't know what he worth. You understand?
It's a whole lot.
It's a lot of money. He's very respected in the community. Ross did a show in my hometown in Waycross, Georgia. And I stood up on that stage and I got pictures with him.
Okay.
So I'd be lying if I said I didn't talk with him, but I was around his company where he performed. Man, that was the best feeling that I had when I came home, being on stage with a guy like Rick Ross. He was inspired. I inspired by him. Ross gave me the chance to make a lot of money with this documentary.
He did.
And he put his face on anything he touched turned to gold.
Pretty much.
And I salute to him.
It's coming full circle.
And again, another gentleman, he used my name. It's 3 or 4 used my name, Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy was, he's Trick Daddy. Love him. He's a fool. He called me a fool. Bo Dilley's a goddamn fool. Yeah, Trick, I heard it, but I still love you. You understand? But I love him. But a good thing I love about Trick Daddy, when I came home, Trick Daddy put something in my hand.
Hey.
I didn't ask him. He didn't owe me nothing. But he put something in my hand.
He opened the door for me and entertainment.
And he said a lot good things. Oh, Bo Dilley was a robber. He was this, he was that. He told the truth. I don't know why he'll belittle me like that, but he told the truth. Trick Daddy, I love him. Everybody loved Trick Daddy. He from the hood for real.
I don't think Trick belittles you. I think Trick just
he just say Bo Dilley. No, Bo Dilley was a robber. He was a this. He was a that. I said, God damn, when you gonna ease up, man? You seen it? Look at the tape.
He telling the truth, ain't he?
But it just was amazing, man. Trick Daddy, when you gonna ease up, baby?
The fact, look.
Now listen, I know Trick Daddy. When he was coming on 15, they was doing with their little speakers and what they ain't have all that. Wow. And I was surprised to see him.
Wow.
More or less, I was more surprised to hear about the girl, Trina.
Trina. Yeah.
Trina was probably 13 or 14 years old looking over Mr. Wonderful County.
Wow.
I know her mom, I grew up with them.
Wow.
Evelyn, Vanessa, and all them great family.
Wow.
And Trina, I heard about her in school. I heard about her while I was in prison. She represent 305. A lot of prisons, she got a lot of guys, they got their pom-poms out for you, baby. You did good.
Yeah.
You did good. Make no mistake, they love you.
And you inspired
your legacy. I'm inspired of all that. Overall, I love Rick Ross. I love him. Everywhere he go, I think I could have got a ticket to go in his show. He'd say, let him in.
Oh yeah, I think he let me on that stage.
But he had me on the stage in Waycross, Georgia, my hometown, the one I told you I was from. They did a show out there in the barnyard or something, and he turned that town out. Not only that, I got to salute to his family and his sister. They gave me 9 or 10 tickets to get to my peoples from Georgia.
Nice.
cousin, could you get me a ticket to go see the Rick Ross show? You know the Georgia boys, the Georgia girls.
Bro,
It was amazing,
how
man.
that feels? Because you, as one of the Miami boys, man, just the where this thing has gone, the Miami voice, the lingo, the style, the hustle. You are an architect of that, man. Even I don't know if you were intentionally trying to be when you were out hustling, but that's what happened.
Well, the game of hustling, man, is a hell of a story. It's instilled in me. And I got a book called Hustling in the Heart of the City with Hands and Feet. I grew up with that away. Getting it how I could, getting it from the muscle. I inspired a lot of guys to go out and try to be a Bo Dilley. And with that being said, I was accused of being a part of the Miami Boys, which back in the 90s, I was locked up. I was not no Miami Boys. I never had to leave Miami. I'm the one sent the Miami Boys out of town, Pensacola,
You were the
Atlanta,
plug.
Georgia, this, that. Yeah, I was, but I am not the Miami Boys. I was in prison, didn't see no 90s.
Gotcha.
If you check and do the history of the Miami Boys, it all begun in the 90s. So with that being said, man, you know, we did good, and I want to give a shout out to Rick Ross. He put me in his prayer, and every time you look, when I was up in my up and down bad days, he was in his pool. Give a shout out to Bo Dilley. You know,
you just did that recently, actually.
Yeah, and I give a shout out to Ted, Josh, Convertible Burke, Boss Man, all my colleagues, man. We put this thing, we did it, y'all.
Yeah, won an
Slip
award.
inside.
Won an award.
Won an award.
Pushing.
We did good. The first award ever came by the Kingpins in Miami.
There you go.
Was Miami Kingpins
Yep.
to Festa. You was there.
I was there.
Marie, I love you, baby. She put it together. You know, so we did good, man. We did good. And one thing I say about Ted, I came on 2019. Ted gave me a handful of money, and I'm going to tell the truth. He done that. One thing I'm going to tell you this, and before we say this,
Yes,
Ted Main objected when I came home, and I brought Burke with me. He said, Bo, did we pick you to be another Scarface? And that's all I heard when you was coming up. You built that house. That house, I was 10,000 square footage, Olympic-sized pool, sit on 2 acres. The good part about it that people have never seen is the back part. He got a pool, basketball, tennis court, a little house in the back. It's out there.
Bo,
I
did
put
you want that house to
150,000.
inspire people? Did you want it to be like a symbol of what the community, this is what I can do if I hustle?
No, it was a dream house that I came about, and I didn't use that house to be who I am, to be big. I didn't buy the cars in the house to be big. I didn't buy the cars in the jury to take over nobody, the empire, or I'm bigger than them. It just was natural.
Gotcha.
Hustling came natural, and I perfected it. I'm one that these haters, all of them sitting up there talking about, I know Bo Dilley. Well, ask them, do they know Jim Dandy? That's what Mama called me. Listen to the tape. We didn't call him Bo Dilley. His name was Jim Dandy.
Bo, we're going to save that for our next sit down.
NiteCap has been brought to you by Peter's NiteCap Coffee, the brew that fuels introspection.